What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Devvon Terrell. Wow, you actually I ain't gonna lie, I had a brain fart when you did it because I was like,
I thought y'all was.
Am I hearing? Am I having a stroke? What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Devvon Terrell with the My Audio Nerds podcast, the podcast for audio nerds like yourself. Please make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And we're trying something new. Please, one lucky person in the YouTube comments is going to get a free copy of the HMD Rosetta Gold VIP edition. So make sure you put your @name from Instagram so that we could DM you and tell you won. You're over here. What's going on with you?
I actually was going to add on to that too.
What you got?
I don't really do anything.
No.
Between these two.
Yeah.
So I'm also going to offer something as well.
What you doing?
What was that offer that you just gave them? Just repeat it again just so they have it too.
I said you get a free HMD Rosetta Gold Edition EQ.
Okay. And if they do what?
If you
just leave a comment,
cool. And put your @name from Instagram.
So I don't want to make this Ableton exclusive. So
why can't you?
I'm not gonna do that. No, I don't want to do that because we're for everybody.
Courtney's about to do something. I'm excited. I'm fucking excited. Excuse me. I'm cursing. I'm sorry.
And y'all, it's all good. It's all good. And y'all will also you get to see like how I work, and as Dev and Levens can back me up on it, how I like to just do work. If y'all comment the DAWs that you use.
Okay.
They do this every week, bro.
I will, but on top of the DAW that you use,
my boy's struggling.
I want to make a very interesting one. Oh, what DAW do you detest?
I have a better one.
Can I want to put bad hate in the? Why don't you just?
I want to see that.
Can I give you some?
Got you.
Whoever
We're gonna
has
give you the
the
rule
best,
in a second.
No,
go ahead.
No. I'm a step on yours. Whoever has the best Ableton name for him.
Okay. Ooh.
I like that.
Got you. So the top 5 Ableton name, most creative Ableton name comments. I will create special, customized Rosetta EQ presets for you.
Oh wow, that's cool. I like that. That's actually a good idea.
And you get to tell me what type of instruments or sonics you want to pick from: drums, pianos, strings, vocals, etc.
Okay, cool.
So
I'm with
mine is as simple as that, yo.
The 5 best Ableton, whatever, insert name here.
Okay.
Comments. Yes.
Ableton
and don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk if you hate Ableton.
So basically, no, be a jerk actually too.
All right, be funny.
I want to see some.
Just
funny
don't be
ones.
hurtful.
So basically, go into the comment section and put what Courtney's name should be, because basically he goes by, okay, I'm the Ableton Annihilator, Ableton this. So give it Courtney a name and put your @name for Instagram, so that we can actually contact you.
So we can contact you and get you these presets.
Nah, y'all being charitable. I wanna join, but I'm gonna be easier, right? I'm gonna be more selfish actually. Yo, comment on my personal Instagram if you don't follow me. Peep game, but pretend like I got. You know what? I'm gonna time it too. I'm gonna follow like a baddie the day this episode comes out.
Okay.
And I want when she go on my IG. I just want to see a bunch of comments from y'all saying, yo, bro, thanks for letting me borrow your Lambo. Yo, bro, I appreciate that 100 bands you sent me the other day. Yo, leave me encouraging comments. I'm going to give one of y'all Rosetta.
Encouraging comments.
I love how y'all talking about y'all going to give some Rosettas. I'm like, excuse me?
I never said I was going to give a Rosetta. I was going to give some presets.
There was a guy actually that bought the Rosetta, and then I seen him doing a giveaway on his page, and I was like, wait, I was like, how you got a giveaway? So I hit him and was like, hey man, how are you doing it? He was like, no, I'm gonna give someone my license. I bought it. And I was like, oh, and I told him, I said, yo, bro, I would have hooked you up and just hooked it up like that. Also, shout out to Sky Jordan. Yeah, I do have to shout out because Sky Jordan dropped a video where he made a song only using YouTuber plugins, and he had us in there, and I really appreciate that from him. So I just want to say shout out to Sky Jordan, because there's very few creators that really support like other creators. Like it's not crabs in a barrel. We're all working towards the same thing here. So shout out to Scott Jordan. I really do appreciate that, dog. Real talk.
Jordan, man.
Yeah.
I'm really mad at him though.
I am too, and I know what you're gonna say.
He ain't like put out music, bro.
Son, Scott Jordan, I would love to hear
I like how you just look directly at me after.
Because I would love to hear something from Scott Jordan.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. You're one of those people. You strange guys. I don't get it.
I'm here for you, bro. We can start the club.
Oh, sidebar, I know we like this is a podcast, so we separate our like careers from here. Yeah. Yo, y'all check out our music. Like we make good music.
We actually make content.
Actually, we have a single that came out.
This is a nasty plug episode.
Yeah, plug episode. We got a single that came out, Single Friends, produced by me, Austin Sexton, and I forgot the other guy's name.
His name is Sonny.
And it's sung by Mr. Help Me Devvon. Well, no, it was mixed by Help Me Devvon. Devvon Terrell, who's another guy who's not here. He's gonna be on the pod one day though. Yeah, he mixed it.
One day, Devvon Terrell.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Devvon Terrell. He had me and LJ actually in a video. I think if you listen to that same song, it's called "Thank My Exes" off of the Raw Sound
Volume
volume
Two.
2?
Yeah.
That's volume 2. Wow.
I
It's been a minute, hasn't it?
It has. You know, I get very uncomfortable.
Shout out Devvon Terrell,
when we
by the
talk
way.
about me and music. I just
Whoa,
noticed
Devvon
that.
Terrell's in
Like
the
I
building.
close up. Like I just no. I never noticed that about myself. Like we started talking about me as an artist, and I got really weird.
Yeah, you close up a lot.
I do. I don't know what the heck that was.
What's good with that?
I don't know. Another podcast. Maybe
That's fine.
we'll talk
Another
about it.
podcast.
Another
Speaking
day.
of music, right?
Yeah. It's weird. Just
Can we
noticed that.
actually talk to your artists like in a little bit? Because I think
we're gonna talk to
we
the
never
artists
to
today.
get this perspective from you. We always get the nerdy glasses wearing mixed guy looking at Pro Tools for 8 hours.
That was
Can
a
we
shot.
get the guy behind the Neumann TLM 103?
That's I'm not gonna lie. That was a cold introduction.
That was cold.
Can we get the guy behind the Neumann?
Come on,
That's
yo.
hard.
You know why
call
Leaving's
me-
getting better?
That's hard.
You know why Leaving's getting better? Because he's starting to get approached in the street. Like, or
Yo.
just when he's outside.
Shout out to y'all that
on his podcast?
No, bro.
He's starting to get
It
approached.
feels
That's facts.
like shout out to. I'm gonna shout this out. This is my new favorite studio in New York too.
Mm-hmm.
Recording studio, Acosta Park Studios. Man, I was working in there for a day, for 3 days.
Right.
The first day we were there, it was chill. Probably one of my favorite sounding studios in the city. The second day, like 2 of the guys came to me and was like, yo, I recognize you from the pod, yada yada. I was like, bro, we were here yesterday. What's going on?
Crazy.
Man? And it was like,
Dope.
man, shout out to y'all. Anybody
Yeah.
that recognizes me from a studio, shout out to y'all. I
Facts.
give all y'all Rosetta E. I'm not.
He's
Don't work for
not.
me.
He's not. But what's funny is about that is, you know, even when I go to studios and I meet the engineers, it's always a fascinating experience because chances are they've watched, seen the podcast, and they always bring it up. And it's so dope because it's such a niche audience, you know what I mean, that we have. And so when we go into the environments of our audience, it's dope to just kind of see our fanship. So
For sure.
I just want to say, shout out to y'all. Like, we really appreciate y'all just like approaching it. Even when people come up to LJ and they're like, the FL God, like that's really
insane.
ill.
I don't know how to react, so I turn into like a rapper. I'll be like, yeah, you
Yeah,
already
he
know
gets
the
weird.
vibes,
Yeah.
man.
And
Come on.
Courtney just
Somebody
doesn't.
called Johnny Dang. Courtney doesn't acknowledge
I'm a
that.
different
No,
person.
no.
Courtney just
different person.
doesn't go outside often.
I do go
He
outside.
goes to 5. No, you go to like 4 locations in the world.
Okay.
Constantly.
And
That's
he
it.
always does it on Thursdays when we have a meeting.
That is also true.
When
I'm
we
always,
meet on
I'm
Thursdays,
always,
and
I'm always.
we always do it
yeah.
on Zoom, and he's always on the train.
That's a
or
fact.
outside.
That's
Yeah.
so true.
But it's all
Yeah,
good.
all right. So back to the artist thing. I was gonna ask you, like,
Yeah.
because you have a unique perspective
Mm-hmm.
on when you blew up, and it was just at like such a weird time. You blew up. If anybody doesn't know, you blew up at a time where streaming was just starting to come up.
Right.
So you had this revenue source of streaming.
Right.
You had the revenue source of physical
Hard
copies
physical
and
copies
pre-orders
and CDs.
Like you charted, bro.
Billboard.
You know what I mean? So it's just like,
Mhm.
how has that switch?
Mm-hmm.
What did that tell you, just in like the state of music,
Right.
and just monetization in that?
Independence has completely died.
Oh, for sure.
Right? Like, excuse me. Maybe that was a little too strong. Let me not say completely died, but independence, if you didn't experience the independent music movement during the years 2014 to about 2018, stay out of this conversation because you have no idea how amazing that era was. That's where we got the Vince Staples, the Casey Veggies, the
Chance,
Funk
Chance
volumes. That's where we got so much independence. And the reason why it was so strong is because we were able to do what? Make money. We were monetized. It was so much easier to monetize things. And the reason why I say this is because we were getting one check from still selling CDs, right? Physical copies, still selling CDs. Big money, $20 a pop, $15 a pop. We were getting money from
TuneCore, CD
from
Baby.
TuneCore, CD Baby on our sales from iTunes. Remember you used to buy an album on iTunes for $10?
Pre-orders was
Pre-orders used to slap. We were making money from that. And then the next thing was we were starting to make money from this little thing called streaming that I didn't understand, but I would see a check in TuneCore and I go, whatever. Like, people are using this thing called Spotify. And I was like, holy crap. So we were getting the triple checks. And let me put this into perspective for people. And I never talk about money. And like, you know, I'm pretty sure people know my heart already. I've never been like this. But what blew my mind was my first big check from a big selling album. I never forget this. I was broke before, right? And I remember, shout out to my guy Futuristic, real talk, because it was through his TuneCore, right? Because it was for our first album sales from coast to coast. It was like, you know how you got that, it's every month, but it was like the tail end of the month from our sales. So it was like the first week.
Yeah.
And I remember he sent me my cut. And I never forget this. I was in a tour bus and he sent me a PayPal. And he hit me, he said, check your phone. And it was $20,000.
Holy.
And going,
It's okay, bro.
Okay, bro. I will patch you
Full
back.
circle
but I'm too
moment,
far,
bro.
sorry. Going from living in my studio and sleeping on the floor every day to looking in your phone one day and seeing $20,000 like
On first week sales.
first week is, I'm telling you, that moment is nothing is gonna hit harder in your life than the first time like you say, holy shit, I do this for a living for real now.
Damn
So when we talk about streaming and the independence and stuff today, and people complain about the artist complaining, like, yo, this shit is hard, you don't know what that feels like. And you probably never will now with the way things are
Payment
run.
is the-
Because that 20 grand, I kept getting that. I kept getting that money. I was making money on the tour.
Keep in mind for just perspective, right? Because it's easy to just say the 20 grand. but
Independent,
you're
not signed.
Yeah, not signed.
Not signed.
20 grand, you mixed and mastered the project.
I
So
mixed
you're
and
not-
mastered the project.
And that's 20 grand split between you and another person and producers.
Yes. That was, first of all, that 20 grand was after Futuristic got his cut, my manager, all the producers. That was
And the manager cut.
that was my cut that I pocketed after expenses. So think about how much that project made. You understand what I'm saying? So to me, when I look at now and I drop an album and I see what it generates, I'm just like, this is insane, dog.
Facts.
And here I am thinking, damn, because we had a record. Thank you. You actually mixed it last year. I had a record come out tail end of the year, and the first month, because that one got pushed to like we were at the top of. Man, we were at the top of the biggest R&B playlist on Apple Music for like a week or two.
Huge.
Shout out to Walter. We had a banner.
Congrats
we
on
were
that.
on every playlist in like Japan,
Shout out to
Canada. Shout out to Walter. That was an amazing
Shout out to
record,
Walter.
and that was
Shout
a
out.
big like moment for me because that record did so well. I was like, and we did it.
And it was
dolo.
all you.
It's 19 years old,
Right.
with another 19-year-old singing on it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All you.
Everything out of the camp. I'm talking, we recorded it in this studio downstairs, mixed by my homeboy.
Right.
That we get, I paid him to mix it. Like,
Right.
it came out the pocket.
Right.
Right. And to see that, and the check I got from that, I was like, oh, it's lit off this single. I think the first week we made, like, not first week, because United Masters, which we could
take a
talk
cut.
about them.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about them this episode,
Okay.
actually. But they, it was split between us two.
Right.
And I'll tell you what my cut was. It was split between us two, and they only pay monthly.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
first month, hearing the 20 bands off the album first week, and I'm like, damn, the first month, I was cool with the 2,500 I got
Right.
off the single.
Right.
And I'm like, ooh, this is dope, because we had 100K in the first 2 weeks on streams.
Right.
It was a 2-pack, so we had another record doing well as well.
Right.
It was like, ooh, this is what real money is.
Right.
Nope. Because imagine if it was 99 cents each on top of the playlist. What?
And
100K sales, 99 cents each. That's $1 million.
so leave-ins. So here's my thing. People say, yo, with the advent of streaming platforms, where you benefit as an artist is discovery, right? Yo, the discovery
Which
is
is true.
insane.
Which is
is
absolutely
very
true.
true. That's never gonna shun that. The discovery is insane. But how good or how beneficial is the discovery if my ability to monetize those fans that I've worked so hard to get are worth 0.0038 of a cent?
And that's the problem. And that's the reason why.
Of a cent.
But that's the reason why it'll be so hard. And ooh, I have a point. Ooh, let me cook. That's the problem. Because the reason why something like that we have to eat it as artists is because there will always be people that are okay with saying, fuck, excuse my language, fuck the check. I want people to love my music. I just want to be big. The check will come later. I can tour. I can do shows. I can do this, do that, do this, do that. And it's just like,
Hey,
that's great.
It's great.
But let's also forget that you're investing into a product. You're investing into a piece of art.
Yes.
And this piece of art right here, the painter didn't make it off the love just to get in the gallery.
True.
That painter needs to survive.
Yes.
True.
And and if you're an artist, anyone, this goes for anyone, if you're an artist, then I think the dream, if it's safe to say, I think the dream is to be able to do what you love forever.
Yeah.
Right? And to survive and make money off it, because it's still the real world.
For sure.
So for me, what I say is, it's funny you mention that, because once again, that 20 grand that I got in that first week, that was, like, understand, that was my split. Like,
Yeah.
so imagine how much it made.
And imagine the thought, oh, my rent is great.
Right. I was able to move me
And
my,
I'm getting this
like,
next Friday?
Right. I'm gonna get this. Wait. I was like, wait.
This was the first week.
I
I'm
remember
getting this Friday.
I remember saying, wait, this is not a full month.
On top of, let me put in your perspective too. You are popping off YouTube.
Yeah,
so
Facebook
you had
and
your
YouTube.
music videos,
Oh.
your free mixes. You're getting that check. You're already anticipating. Oh, I got this coming already on the 30th.
Yes.
That's gonna come. But
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I got this coming and this. And imagine what the tour is gonna be.
Oh.
The merch.
The merch. Oh, all these little levels.
And I think that
I didn't need to do anything else.
I have another theory. I think streaming also affected merch. Because
Oh.
as a fan going to buy your physical autographed, I'm like, damn, the shirt is right there. I might as well for $15. Get it.
Yeah. It was
But
right.
now I'm seeing a decline in
Physicals.
not
like
even physicals.
memorabilia.
Because I don't think maybe it's me getting older. Maybe it's me not worrying more. Maybe it's me being in the industry in a sense. I don't see merch being a huge selling point anymore.
No.
I don't see artists promoting their merch. I don't see it being a big thing unless an album is out. Maybe
Maybe the bigger artists, maybe
Yeah.
they're selling like a Taylor Swift's and stuff like that. What I do want to make sure I do say as well is I'm not looking at the streaming platforms and going, this is all your fault. Because at the end of the day,
we have to enable it.
yeah, but I do want to say we were in a time in our music industry where it was tumultuous in the sense of illegal downloading was a problem. Like straight up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll be very honest. That was a problem, and that was a whole nother problem in itself. And I will say, streaming did find a way to make it ethical,
Yeah.
and to make at least the music industry get back on its feet in the sense of like, okay, cool, we found an ethical, legal way to kind of do it. So I don't want to shun them in that regard, because at the end of the day, I look at the streaming platforms and I say it's a business. So for them, they have to figure out their bottom line. It just doesn't benefit us as much as I would want it to. But I do understand. I want to be very clear. I understand the business, like, and how they have to figure it out to make it advantageous for us.
Sidebar, when you get a chance, I need you to send me your Cash App because I've definitely like YouTube to MP3 a few of your records.
That's nasty work.
My apologies.
So
bro.
nasty.
My apologies.
And it's
man.
okay, because I would see kids do that all the time, and I'd be like, oh, they ripped that. Like, I sold that and stuff. But that was the thing. I used to be able to sell physicals.
I'll send you like a cool 20 beans. You'll be fine.
You probably do owe me about $20.
$20? Nah, I don't owe you $20.
I made $60 off my first record on iTunes. That was a big deal for me.
$60 off
It was
your
a
first
song
song?
called, I'm not going to say the song name, but because I don't want you to find it.
like no
Holy crap, how do you know that? Oh my God.
Exposed.
Stop, don't say the title. But I'll never forget, I remember getting the sheet, and I was like, yo, 60 people bought my song, and guess what? I got $60.
Yeah, it was $1 a
It was $1 a song.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember getting that, and I remember going like, oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna just try to drop a song like I saw the business. I saw a business in it. You know what I mean? And it was fascinating to me, dude.
So
like,
as an artist, an active, popular artist, where do you see streaming going? Or
indie popular,
indie
maybe.
popular.
I'm not saying I'm the biggest
I'm
artist in the
sorry.
world.
I'm sorry. 3 million monthly listeners. I'm kidding.
Okay.
But how would you see a way of reform? Because we can't get rid of it.
Thank you so much.
We can't
for asking
get.
this.
You know what I mean? So how would you reform the streaming industry?
I've had this idea brewing in my brain for months. I was sitting and I was like, how can we fix this? Because it has to get fixed. Shout out LaRussell also, because that dude is a pioneer and I love what he does.
Absolutely.
Shout out LaRussell.
Shout out LaRussell.
Oh, we met him at Engineers.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, that was
With his
amazing.
Even platform, which is amazing, and I can see myself going over there. Let me tell you what I think could change the music industry. What if Drake has a release date, right? He says, my release date is June 15th. And what he does is, yeah, it'll be on all streaming platforms. Cool. But for the first 2 weeks, it will be behind a paywall. If you want the album within that first 2 weeks, you can pay $10 to get it and have it on your streaming platform to unlock it. And then after those 2 weeks, it'll come out. Here's where it benefits. Some of you may say, screw it, I'll wait for the 2 weeks. That's fine. You can do that. But for the people that are like, I really want to invest in this artist and support, now you gave me an option to actually have that, or say, yo, you know how it is, y'all? I'd appreciate it if y'all, if you want to hear it now, you can have it here. I can't do that on another platform. It has to be on Spotify, Apple Music. So it has to be adopted on those major streaming platforms. $10, my album is up on those streaming platforms behind a paywall, and I get my real core fans to support, buy it. They get access to it. And guess what? Now I get to walk around and be like, Oh, I got it. Dang, yo, bro,
What?
you add that back
Yeah.
in where it's like, dang, you got the project? Bro,
Let's listen to it, yeah.
Yo, let's listen to it together.
But I gotta throw you a bone.
Sure.
It wouldn't be real if I didn't throw you a bone.
Sure.
For artists like you
Mm-hmm.
and artists like the Tone Stiffs of the world, or
Mm-hmm.
the Joyce Rices, like those indie artists,
Mm-hmm.
that would be incredible. Even
Yes.
for something up to like a Blast, even.
Yeah.
Like that'd be dope.
Yeah.
But for the big, I feel like the big dogs control it, obviously.
Okay.
The big dogs say means more than anything.
Sure.
Because they're generating the most amount of money.
Sure.
In a sense,
Sure.
Right? But for something, this doesn't benefit, or I don't think it helps the big dogs in a sense, because yes, I'm paying $10 for that Drake album, but it also opens up room for bringing back that pirating word, or like just illegal streaming of this record, which cuts into the labels are all public now. The labels are all public, meaning those board members do not give a damn about the exclusivity and all of that. They care about statistics, the numbers, who's going number one. And now if Kanye even said, yo, a million people illegally downloaded My Truth over the drums when he put out Life of Pablo on Tidal 3 months before he put it everywhere else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it would hurt. I could see how somebody like a Drake or Jay-Z would be weary, like, yeah, a lot of people will pay that $10 and it might offset the cost of the people that do listen and get it for free, but it's messing with my first week, or it's messing with my Billboard charting, or it's messing with this or that. And that's, for some reason, matters more to a lot of people.
Here's the trade-off. How many streams does it take for one album sale?
Oh, 3,000 something. Let me Google.
Google that right quick, because I'm going to blow your mind. How many streams does it take for one album sale? Let's just hypothetically say 3,000 streams, because that's not unreasonable in the sense of what music is today, right?
Yeah.
3,000 streams equals one album sale. Drake releases an album. How many streams do you think Drake does in his first week?
1,500 streams.
Is one album.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay. How many streams do you think Drake does in his first week?
Oh, at least 70 million.
At
40
least
million.
I think it's more than
40
that.
million. No, maybe.
I think it's more than that.
So
Screw it.
10 songs, 10 million each.
Screw it. Let's say
100.
70 million. Let's say 70 million people are going to listen and tap into this album first week. Okay, 70 million. So if I say, hey guys, first week, this album is going to be behind a paywall. You could pay $10. You could hear it right now, and then it'll be released to everyone in the next week. If Drake, out of those 70 million people, if only 750,000, which I'm sure 750,000 people are going to be like, yo, I'm paying the 10 to listen to Drake right now. If 750,000 people times 10 listen to that album, that's $7.5 million in that first week.
Is that worth the pirating, basically?
Because at the end of the day, let's say for instance, we get 500,000 people to pirate it. Guess what? 500,000 times the 3,000 streams that it would take to make 1,500 to make the one album, divide that by the 1,500. I'm looking at 333 album sales. So I'll lose 333 album sales in order to flip 7.5. So you see what I'm saying? Where
back
I'll
in the
take
day,
some pirating streams. I'll take some pirating streams if
sure.
at the end of the day, I'm getting $10 a person, baby.
I heard that.
Absolutely. I love that. Wow.
So
Yo, when they take this idea, y'all know we come on.
And I've always wanted to
hearing
say
that.
this on wax, and the reason why is because I genuinely say if Spotify or Apple Music or Tidal, any of them gave me the ability to say, yo, we'll give you an option where you can put something behind a paywall for first week if you want. I will go, dog, I know I got 1,000 people that'll do that. I got 1,000 people that'll do that, right? Even on the small side,
And
1,000
if
people.
not,
That's
people
10K.
are people are gonna work towards that 1,000 people.
Exactly. Right now I
Incentive
really
for the indie artists.
I go back to giving those people the value. Because I could then say, oh, and the people behind the paywall, if you buy it now, you get this free, or you get access to this, or holy crap,
Send me a screenshot of you listening to the song, and I'm gonna send you a something.
Right.
You know?
And now I want to go to Camden's house because Camden bought the album, and I don't want to buy it because
And
I'm
now-
cheap. So now the vibe is, yo, Cam, let me come through so we can listen to it together.
On
Now
top of
that
that,
gets
Can I
back.
help you? Can I help you? What else it brings back?
What?
It brings back accurate touring.
Oh.
Why?
Oh,
Ever
yeah.
since the streaming era, we've seen, and I'm not saying it wasn't happening before, but streaming era, the touring analytics have gotten so blurred, and we're seeing it even with bigger artists like
Very
Chance
inflated.
and
Yeah.
T-Pain. They both say, yo, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it's just not selling.
Yeah.
And it's because everybody's listening from everywhere. And it's easy to listen. It's easy for me to just play your song.
Right.
And yeah, you can go off of who played it the most. New York's a big market for a lot of people, but also don't forget, New York is the most populated.
Yeah.
It's the most dense. So of course New York's gonna be big.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like our 30 people weighs more than a lot of other people's 30 people.
Exactly.
So I'll put it like this. With that, you can see who's actually spending money. What fans are actually spending money with
regions?
you in what regions,
Yes.
and you can plan accordingly.
Yes.
Because let's stop lying, right? A lot of these tours get canceled, and we know for what.
Yeah.
And some artists are saying it. Yo, it's just not selling, man.
Right.
It's just not selling.
Because they're not sure, right? Because they see streaming numbers and they don't realize how many albums, how many artist songs do you listen to and it's fleeting, meaning it's just in passing, right? And now I see Fari stream, mind you, he just happened to just be chilling and it happened to come on, and I'm like, oh, I got fans in Brooklyn. And it's like, no, actually, I just happened to
You know how many
hear your song.
Romanian fans I got? And I don't make music.
So, I really appreciate this. I really think
You know what I'm saying?
and appreciate the because I've genuinely been not struggling with this, but I've been mentally saying to myself,
Trying to figure out a way to
how
break the mold.
Right. And I've been trying to shoot holes in it, but I need the conversation to just open so that we can shoot holes in it, because at the end of the day, I just genuinely feel like with human behavior and what we know, people do not put much value in things that are free.
Yeah. And the thing
And
is,
that song that you listen to when you about to go on a train, it feels free because it's $10 a month. And it feels free to you. So it's you don't connect with me like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might not connect with me like you used to.
I get you.
yeah, even something like let's be honest, festivals, bro, it's skewing touring analytics in a sense.
How so?
'Cause, yeah, I could get a festival I could get to Wisconsin Festival. Shout out T-Pain. He's doing a festival in Wisconsin called the Wisconsin Fest.
Hard.
Right? I could
That's
get that.
genius.
That don't mean I got fans in Wisconsin. That means T-Pain messed with me. He put me on the lineup, and maybe 10% of them people are there for me.
Okay.
But now it's, you know what I mean? Excuse it with it. But look, I love what you said. And of course, none of this happens or gets on board without us just believing in it. Because it doesn't matter what good idea we have. It feels like if they leave it to a vote, there's always going to be a bottom feeder.
Yeah.
Like, think about it like, oh my.
He's getting a good point. He's getting a good point. He's getting a good point. He's getting a good point.
Y'all, can I curse, man? Please, let's just be
Just be easy, please.
To y'all I'm playing. To y'all producers, man,
Okay.
that are selling buy one get 30 beats free. You're not helping us, man. I really
This
mean
is a producer gripe. Okay.
You're not helping us because you're diminishing the value of a beat. Why do you think these artists don't want to pay us, bro? Because they used to paying $20, $40 leases. I'm not saying leases are bad. I'm saying the fact that, and I heard Timbaland say, Timbaland was getting 350 band. You realize for Sean Garrett to go to a session, it was 50,000. The label was wiring him that before he got in the car.
Crazy.
Why? Because we had a value to us. And I'm not saying the access ruined it, because the access allowed me to even be on this couch.
Right.
I'm
It's a
grateful
trade-off.
for that.
It's a trade-off.
But the fact that we're so eager to just make a little money that we're willing to settle for scraps, and we lost our value because maybe the fact that we're so young, we didn't know our value. I remember being my first placement with you, a record called Week 4. And he was like, yo, what's your PayPal? I was like, yo, bro, it's all good, bro. It's all good. I'm just happy to be here. Why? He was my favorite artist. It was all good, bro. I didn't need that. I didn't want, not even need that. I just didn't want it.
But
I'm happy to be here.
Right.
But
I wanted to teach you.
yeah, looking at that, I just didn't know what I was worth.
Right.
And I'm in rooms now, and I'm in studios, and I'm like, oh, I know how much I charge. My charge does not make people happy. And you the reason. You get the homie price.
It's all right. I know. I bet. Motherfucker, shit.
But people don't like what I. It's fine. It's my value. It's the same thing with loops and sample producers.
Right.
I use loops. I use samples. Shout out to Dylan Graham. Shout out to AJ
Hall.
Hall. Shout out to Decap. When I get
Vega.
I got a placement with decap drums on it, just a decap drum loop.
Right.
He gonna get a call. I know it's royalty free. I don't care.
Yeah.
You get in peace.
Good.
Why? Because there's value to it. What you
Yeah.
bring, you helped create a record, and when this record, don't wait till the record becomes Old Town Road to fucking complain.
Yeah,
man.
which a lot of people do. Yeah.
Producers pay y'all loop makers.
Yeah.
Give them a percentage. You don't even gotta come out of pocket now. The label's paying for it now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But it goes back to it. People, like, we do not move forward unless we're all willing to move forward. And the fact that there will always be bottom feeders. You know what's messing me up in the brain right now?
What?
The fact that we looking at you get that. The fact that we watching the screenwriters literally
strike?
not move. Can I tell you something? I as a kid, right? You were trying to get me emotional. I'm not getting emotional. I'm a gangster. But as a kid, man, it sounds silly, but the BET Awards was such a big deal for me, bro.
When you was when you went that year?
No, not went. I'm talking about just watching it as a child. It put me onto culture. It was the one time I got to see on TV a celebration of my culture in such a big way, right?
Right.
Cool. So every year I would just watch. And I'd be excited for it. To this day, it's not that great anymore. But to this day,
it lost the luster for you?
Can I tell you? And we're dating when this episode was shot.
Fine.
Don't matter. It's this Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
Nobody knows. There's no host. Why? Because there's nobody to write the host lines. Them screenwriters are not moved. Jimmy Fallon show is mid right now because there's no writers.
Wait.
The View, if you turn on The View tomorrow, Whoopi's gonna say, hey, we don't have any writers, so excuse us, we're gonna be looking at these cards. The writers aren't budging.
No, I knew
Power stopped filming.
Yeah, they did. I didn't know that. I didn't know
the awards. They don't have a
BET Awards
host,
don't
bro.
have a host.
Yeah.
All they announced was performers. They didn't even pronounce.
Well, there's no writers.
There's no host because who's gonna? Unless you get a Dave Chappelle, and now you see the value of they made their value known, and that union is it's
so strong. SAG.
We don't have it, bro.
We don't have it
because
one of the things they're fighting for streaming.
Oh yes, no,
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. If we had this, we'd be able to bring that to a Spotify. Say no, we want this, and I'll tell you what I think is the end all be all for us, or how we can easily do it because it's ready. But let me get this off. The fact that they're not budging and we're seeing this much of a dent in that industry, I'm a little upset because Euphoria not coming back till 2026 now.
Ooh, that's
You
kinda
season
true.
5 got pushed back.
Everything got pushed
Howard
back.
got pushed. I'm mad. Bro, come on,
Super.
Tariq.
You messing
But
with
and you know what I mean? But it's like, and it's showing you how important it is. And there's no bottom feeders saying, yo, I'll write it for y'all. I'll write it for that's not happening.
Because that's
if it was in the music industry and if say the music industry said, you know what, we not giving y'all no sync work. Y'all not getting no music from us. You know how easy it is for some IG post. Yo, Black Ink Crew needs music. Send y'all SoundCloud links. They would have that episode filmed ready. Why? Because people are gonna fold.
Yeah.
They're gonna fold. So the best way I think.
Point.
You know what I
good
think?
Point.
What I think we can unionize as
How?
something that is already a
institution
in our community. A lot of us are part of it, and I'm not even talking something even as elitist as the Recording Academy. I don't think can be our
North Star.
Yeah, no, not yeah. It can't be our union because not only is it very elitist, but it's also the people that are fucking us are a part of it.
So stop right there, because that's the funny thing is that okay. Oh, I don't know if I want to give this up, which I won't. But as far as the streaming is concerned, these platforms can't exist without the major labels.
Yeah,
because the major
course.
labels gives them licenses and things of that nature to be able to.
They're enabling it because.
So what I would say is, and I'll go back to, not even saying throw in a bone at the street DSPs and stuff, in figuring out the business model, because what I don't think a lot of people know, and this is how it's been explained to me, could be wrong, is that it's based on a pot.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's based on an advertising pot where it's like, okay, Spotify has $1 billion in ads and they have to serve that. And that's how the streaming rates are then somehow calculated and stuff like that.
Yep.
So what I say is something in the business model we have to figure out where Spotify can make Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, all these places can make enough money to then give us those things. So, but here's why I'll come back, and this is how we'll wrap, come back to the idea of something is behind a paywall. It's $10. Spotify can take, of course you can take $2,
$1,
whatever.
$2.
$2 for each one. Okay, and
Still
and it doesn't cost Spotify any new thing. It's nothing new. It's just pure hard cash that these people are pouring back into the streaming platform.
And we always thought the reason why Spotify's streaming rate was so low is because they have the most members. That's not true. If Spotify had, if Apple Music had the same amount of millions of people that Spotify has listening on their platform, we'd make a lot more money from Apple because the pot would be bigger.
Yeah.
It only makes sense. The more people listening, the more people paying, the higher the pot. The problem with Spotify is there's a free tier.
Spotify does have an ad-free ad tier.
So
yeah,
people
which is
that
free.
aren't contributing to the pot are getting to eat off of it. So that's the problem. But here's my solution, or here's my proposal, right? If you're and this is just from a musician songwriter part. If the musicians and the songwriters have $655 million, I believe, dollars that have been allocated, that haven't been paid out to us since 2018.
Okay.
And we've been suing for it for the last 4 years, and we're not getting it, right?
MLC.
The way that we can unionize is in what's already what we're. If you're a working songwriter, if you're a musician in any aspect, and you're serious, chances are you have a BMI or an
ASCAP or a CSAC.
And if you're not serious, then chances are you haven't even gone through that trouble. Or if you want to get serious, chances are you're going to have to. So if we could create our union
that's supposed to be our union.
That should be our union.
Should be
because we're already a part of it. We pay our dues.
We do pay our dues.
You know, we get the perks, we get the awards, we get all of these special events.
That should be our union. They are fighting. I do want to mention that they are fighting. I think it's the MLC. I forgot, but they are fighting. But
BMA is part of it too. The Black Music Action Coalition.
Okay, are part of it.
I really know that. But
so
those are supposed to be our union because if you're not taking it serious, you're not a part of it.
That's true.
If you are taking it serious, you are part of it. But the problem is there's so much of a disconnect between them and like the people that actually give us opportunities to write on this, like the publishers and everything, that unless there's a real union,
right,
it's gonna be hard as hell.
It's gonna be a hard battle because
imagine BMI sending out an email saying, "Hey, no sessions, trust us, we about to get your shit up." You know what I mean? There's still gonna be people saying, "Hey,"
yeah, people like I need to make my money.
So it sucks. I don't know how we figured it out, but I think we already have our union set. Like you have the database of every songwriter, every serious songwriter and producer that has been doing it for years. And anybody that's serious that doesn't have it, guess what? You're going to get that paperwork that says, hey, we need your BMI number or your ASCAP number or your SOCAN or CSAC.
Right. Yeah. Big shout out to that community.
Yes.
For
that fights for us.
Banding together and fighting for something. Because I know all of those writers and stuff like that in that guild and stuff are hurting. They're not making money, right? But they are fighting to do that. I want to wrap this episode up, and I want to say that to me, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and I'll speak for myself when I say this. I think to me, this is the one episode from us I would be so happy if it went far.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not asking for make this go viral, y'all. I'm not saying that.
No, but listen to what's being said.
Would I be so happy if this could start a conversation? If there was one thing on the godforsaken internet that does something, right? In a sense of like, do some good. I really hope that this episode does something somewhere. Even if it's just one person, the right person hears it. I hope someone hears this episode because I'm telling y'all, if we could get back to that place, how 2014, 2018 was.
Yeah.
We
can make livings off of this, y'all.
It's gonna benefit everybody.
Yeah.
The fact that the numbers that, and I'm speaking because you've been out of here. The numbers as somebody that's not that big, right? The numbers that I'm pulling in, I should be able to make a living off of this.
You should be able to make a living.
I should be able to live in maybe not Manhattan, but the hood in Brooklyn, like a project.
Okay.
What do you? And I'll end it with this. I keep saying that. I want everybody to take a look at I think it's on Prime Video. It's a like docudrama, and it's about the guy that started
Flavor of Love.
It's a docudrama about the guy that started Spotify.
Oh yeah.
And it's so good because I enjoyed it because it gave the perspective of him, but it also gave the perspective of what it did to the artist.
Yes.
Right.
And the revolt and the cases and how people were fighting. It's amazing. So we gotta wrap.
Let me say one last thing. It's quick.
Real quick.
The fact that we're not, and I'm not saying we're essential workers, right? But we know music is the soundtrack to our life, everyone's life, whether you like it or not. And I put it like this: it sounds very, it sounds weird, it sounds whack to say, but I'm gonna keep it a bean. If our male men and male women were going through fucking hell, not getting paid right, and they're like, yo, we're like This
Strike.
shit sucks. Not only would there be a strike, but we would feel for them in a sense.
Yeah.
Starbucks. You saw that Starbucks strike,
That
the
was
Starbucks
crazy.
union.
Yeah.
They going crazy, and people, we're supporting them because, like, man, we do run on coffee. But the fact that everybody knows the music industry is struggling and doesn't give a damn because Drake just dropped. You know what I mean? It sucks. It
Our
sucks
one problem is our one problem in the music industry. We're not together. Artists are not together.
That's true.
So we'll stop there. This has been, I appreciate everyone. This has definitely been an episode that is an offshoot of what we usually do.
normally
But
do.
I would like, once in a blue, I like when we have real conversations about our industry. Because at the end of the day, if you're a mix engineer, recording engineer, whatever, still relates to you in some way, shape, or form. You're an artist, you're a musician. So I think this is still on brand for us, and I really appreciate this conversation. But we're going to wrap this up. Please make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. This has been the My Audio Nerds podcast for audio nerds like yourself. Remember, leave that lucky comment. I'm really going to be in the comments for this episode. Leave a comment, and one person will be chosen for the VIP Gold Edition EQ for free. Put your @name for Instagram as well so that we can DM you. This has been the My Audio Nerds podcast. I appreciate
do want
these
to give away
guys.
something, too.
And what is it? Is it something with...
For our 50th episode, right?
Okay.
I'm going to do it, man.
Hurry up, please.
I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to give somebody, I don't know how we're going to do it. It might be a mixed competition. I don't know. We're going to figure something out. But I'm going to give away a Behringer product.
And we're out. Camden, you can take us out. I was like, he did all that just to say Behringer. I was like, if you did this to say Behringer, Jesus Christ. You got us out?
Kendrick Lamar.
That was